Hello, I'm City Council Member Laurel Stinson. I'm here today on the east side of Red Wing with Katie Humunga. Katie is a forester working with the City of Red Wing on a tree replacement project to replace trees that we'll be losing to emerald ash borer. Katie, why don't we take a walk around the east side and you can tell me a little bit more about this project.
Sounds good.
Katie, why don't we start by talking about why we're starting with our focus here on the east end?
Well, here in the East End, we have some of the most challenging situations as far as tree planting goes on public property. You've got a couple of streets that have no boulevard at all. You've got streets like the one we're walking on that has a boulevard that's too narrow for trees. And anytime you're doing a tree planting project in a community, you want to make sure you're doing it equitably, that all of the neighborhoods throughout the community have adequate tree cover. That's so important, especially for reducing winter heating bills and so on. So this is a neighborhood we're looking at specifically to find opportunities to plant trees on boulevards.
So Katie, the city and the rest of the state has known that emerald ash borer was a problem that was coming for a while now. So why are we focused on doing this project right now?
Well, the City of Red Wing is now in the area that's defined as generally infested with emerald ash borer. And so this is the point at which we're going to lose all of the trees that aren't being treated over the course of just a few years, 3, 4, 5 years. And so this is a time where we're going to be removing more trees as they become infested, and we need to plant at a higher rate in order to keep good tree cover throughout the neighborhood.
So the city has received some grant funding to begin replacing some of these boulevard trees that we'll be losing to emerald ash borer within the next few years. Can you tell us a little bit about what homeowners can do to get started in this process of replacing boulevard trees?
Well, if a homeowner does have a boulevard that does not have a tree in a spot and it's got enough space for a tree to grow, I'd encourage them to go to the City of Red Wing's website and search for EAB. That'll bring up a form where they can sign up if they're willing to host a tree.
Great. And for folks who are interested in having a tree planted in their boulevard, can you tell us a little bit about what kind of trees might go in that place?
Well, there's going to be a whole diversity of trees that are planted. Several different kinds of oaks, honey locust, hackberry, buckeye, other species. We're not going to plant many maple trees in the next few years because they have been overplanted in the past.
My understanding is that the city is going to lose about 25% of its boulevard and park trees over the next several years, and that's why we're working so imminently on this project right now. But what about trees that are not in the boulevard but are rather on people's private property?
Great question, because there's plenty of those as well. I think what people need to understand is that those trees too, if they're not being treated to prevent emerald ash borer infestation, if they're an ash tree, they too will die here in the next few years. So plan for that. Plan to have the tree removed at some point. It's important to do that between October and March, because then the insect larvae move with the wood. And the wood from any tree taken down should be taken up to the waste facility up on Bench Street. So here is a green ash tree that is infested with emerald ash borer. Now I can see that from looking up into the crown. I see areas where it's smooth and the bark is starting to slough off. This tree does not have long to live.
Well, thank you so much, Katie, for joining us today to educate me and the rest of Red Wing about this emerald ash borer replacement project that we're starting on. If you're a resident of Red Wing and you care about the trees of our city as much as we do, please go to the City of Red Wing website to sign up to host a boulevard tree today.